Big Boy's
Big
Neighborhood,
Boy.
beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and a pleasure to have this guy in the neighborhood, man. Shia LaBeouf in the neighborhood. Shia, welcome back to the neighborhood, bro.
Thank you.
Man, it's my pleasure. How you been?
Shia.
Happy.
Yeah, happy.
Good.
Yeah, hey, man,
Blessed.
isn't it crazy when you find so-called happiness?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fleeting thing. But today I'm happy. It's good to see you.
Right.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, man. We gotta. You know, how people say, "Oh, man, we gotta do this more often."
Yeah.
Really, we don't. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
no.
like that's real Hollywood. Like, man, we gotta do some lunch, Shia.
Yeah.
Shia, do you eat food? Like, yeah.
Yeah, but you were always a real one. I mean,
Yeah.
you met my dad. I remember playing dice with you and Bernie Mac.
Oh, yeah. When we did,
Yeah.
when we did Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
And of course, your career went on to do
Yeah.
beautiful things. And I remained in radio,
Who
but
won?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If it was in the movie, then of course I wasn't supposed to win. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm surprised that you do remember the work that we did
Yeah,
together.
it was big.
Yeah. Do you think that working with me was one of the biggest things in your career, Shia?
Definitely. Well, I'll tell you why, and no bullshit. I remember,
All right.
Sorry for cursing.
No problem.
But I remember like my
Hey, is your headphones up? Cool. I know that you keep.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to be cool. You know?
Hello.
That was like one of the rare moments that my dad actually came to set.
Oh, really though?
Wow.
Yeah.
To
So
see you work?
Yeah, because he was a big Bernie Mac fan. My dad was a comedy fan.
So he came for Bernie. Was
That's
your
why he
pops a
was really
comedian?
there.
Yeah, he tried.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he tried. Yeah. Like every guy's dad. You
Hey,
know?
at some point, even my kids right now, I do radio. You know what I'm saying? And I think I do a good job in radio. My family don't think I'm as funny as people outside do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the one time you do get work, it's like your pops probably showed up more for Bernie Mac.
It really was that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think he ever really saw any of the movies I made. He really was just on that. He was on Bernie.
Really,
Big.
though?
Yeah, big time.
Damn, what about a theatrical release? He didn't go to the movies either?
Nah, my dad's not a movie guy like that.
Damn.
Yeah, never.
He didn't walk around saying Shia LaBeouf is my son? Because I would do that.
Nah, he never did it.
I did that even though you're not my son. You know what I'm saying? You should see
trained
Shia,
him.
how many times I used to walk around with even just a picture just around our neck, and I'd be like, hey, Shia wanted me to come and pick some food up for him and take it back to set. You know what I'm saying? But do you ever feel like we do use, people use you a lot in Hollywood? Your dad wanted to meet Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I want you to come down here, take another picture so I can update my profile.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the one moment he was like, it's rare you get your pops to be proud like that.
Right.
So it was a big moment for me. He wasn't like,
Yeah.
it was a big moment, big. And I just remember that was like the last time he ever came to set.
Damn.
I just wound up making a movie about him, and like it's rare that you meet people who meet that guy,
Yeah.
and you're one of those people. So
Damn.
that's why I mean it's wild to see.
You
'cause
just made a movie about who?
my dad.
Really though?
Yeah,
And what is that? What is that?
It's called Honey Boy.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that done already?
Yeah, we finished.
Was
yeah.
that hard to do?
Yeah, it's a trip. I mean, could you imagine? Plus, I had a contentious relationship with him, like a lot of people, But yeah. So yeah, it did really well, and he still hasn't seen that. At one Sundance, and he still wasn't very impressed.
Damn.
He's still on that
Hey,
Bernie
man,
Mac thing.
do you ever feel like you're reaching for that acceptance sometimes, or are you done?
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's such a big moment to see you because I remember him smiling so much around you to him, playing dice with that was a bigger moment than just playing dice.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was like, hey, Dad, look what I could offer.
And in Honey Boy, you didn't reenact that where I could have came in and redid my parts.
Oh man, I should have done that.
We can strip it in. I want to tell you, man, Hollywood just haven't been as kind to me especially since I lost the weight, Shia.
It's a trip,
Oh
isn't it?
man, yeah, man. I think, and probably my acting skills too, but I don't want to blame it
No,
on me.
you're fire. You got put in a box like a caricature.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm glad you said that because it sounds crazy when I say it. You
Yeah,
know
of
what
course
I'm
you
saying?
can't say it. I
Yeah, it
can't
sounds
say it.
braggadocious. Like, oh man, they put me in a box.
Yeah,
I
they
could
did.
have had my Oscar.
For
You
sure.
know? Go ahead.
Hey, you're playing games with it. I think
Bobby,
you actually could.
It's really not that funny, bro. It's almost disrespectful how much you laughing. It's borderline. This is Bobby Soto here, man. It's borderline disrespectful how you're laughing. You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to laugh.
But what's the relationship here with you and Bobby?
So Bobby's the star of a movie that I just made, the last one I just finished, called Tax Collector with David Ayer, who did Fury and brought me in for this
Right.
movie he was doing called Tax Collector. And I mean, you want to explain it?
About the movie?
Yeah, get right there on that mic, Bobby. Bobby, where you
I'm
from?
not supposed to say, though.
Where are you from? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in South Central.
Oh, hello,
Yeah.
very own.
Yeah, I
Go
grew up
ahead
on
now.
58th and Compton.
Really, hey man,
There
we
we
were
go.
very
Really South
instrumental in
Central.
growing you up. Then you know what I'm saying. I feel like the village helped
Really?
helps everybody. So how did y'all get together as far as the movie? Had you been acting before as well?
Yeah, I started acting when I was like 10 years old. But
Where does that come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how we get kind of put in the box and then our
Yes.
mind take
Yeah.
us other
Yeah.
places?
yeah, of course.
As a 10-year-old, what made you start to explore acting?
I didn't want to do it. It was my sister's.
Damn.
Yeah, my
idea.
twin sisters wanted to act, but growing up in South Central, there's nothing really to do, but there's a lot of gang violence and drugs and whatever else is on there. But the best thing you can do for a child is just take them out of there, you know?
Yeah.
And look, I was lucky enough to
Mentally,
have,
physically, spiritually, if you can.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have parents that actually wanted me to do something
I
different.
heard
you
that.
know?
Now, what about your sisters? You got twin sisters now?
I
They
got twin
older?
sisters. Yeah, they older. Yeah.
All right. Are they in tax collector as well?
No. They stopped
Damn.
acting a long time ago.
And you
actually.
kept it going, huh?
Yeah.
I
You're
don't
like,
even want to
"Look at
start.
me
I don't want to
now."
start no family beef because I know y'all love each other. Damn.
I met Shia actually. I was doing it. I practiced jujitsu at a mixed martial
Okay,
arts. in
well, I
Echo Park.
apologize for saying that they were disrespectful.
I take it all back. Take it all
Yeah,
back. I
definitely
like
take
you a
all
lot.
that back. So how long you been in jiu-jitsu?
I've been doing that for 3 years, but
Okay.
I ended up gaining a real good relationship with the sensei, and his homie was actually David Ayer. So then,
Damn.
yeah, that's how
Isn't
we
it
met.
crazy how the universe put things together?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we think it's circumstance, happenstance,
Right.
but when you really start to think like, man, it's written. Like one left turn, one right turn, leaving the house a little bit, not getting into maybe jujitsu, whatever. You never know what the next door is, man, and who's that next person that'll put you in touch with
Yeah.
something. So
That's right.
So you know Ayers, David Ayers,
Yeah.
and he's of course good with Shia.
Yeah.
How does that come together? Because I know Shia, he hasn't put me in nothing. So you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that come together?
Well, I met David actually at the dojo.
At the dojo.
Yeah, so we used to just be buddies in the dojo, and I didn't even know who he was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's probably what kept it innocent, and the
Yeah.
naivete is probably what got you in.
Yeah, we created an authentic relationship, and then like a few months in, he was like, "Yo, I want to do a movie."
And you was like, hell yeah.
I said, "Okay."
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
do it.
And then you looked around like, my sisters don't have to be in it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they dropped that a long time
Really
ago.
though.
They're
So
like,
what's
"You owe us."
that? What's that bug in you that keep you going? Why do you not enjoy Hollywood? Because Hollywood got such a
Yeah.
title to it. But why do you enjoy the craft so much?
Oh man, it's the only thing I'm good at.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have any jobs like before? You know how there's always a this and that before something start paying your bills. Like, is there anybody like, hey, I used to work at such and such with him?
Yeah, actually, I had my own business.
Oh, really?
In South Central. Yeah, I had a water store.
Oh, I heard
Yeah, I
that.
did that for a couple of years, and then I got in a big car accident, and then I stopped, and I started acting.
Damn.
Yeah.
So the accident made you stop the water store?
Yes.
And this is like water, like H2O, not like
water,
PCP.
like- Purified.
like drink,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
purified drinking water.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, 'cause you
in
know-
South Central, there's no really clean
That's
purified
dope.
systems. Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to hate having to go get the water when it was my turn. I'm like, ah.
That is beautiful, bro.
Sucks.
And so the accident was it a bad accident?
Yeah, it was in a 5-car collision.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
Damn.
got smashed in the car, and then they took him to the hospital. The doctors, I had my whole neck brace and my whole thing.
That's God right there, huh?
God came in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it lets you know that there's something bigger. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And the tuition into the school of experience,
100%.
always, and really knowing that tomorrow's not here. So whatever you got to do,
100%.
do today. You know what I'm saying?
And it comes back around to actually what we're doing now, because when I was in where I grew up and then the business that I made, all the kids around me, just everybody, I just saw that there was the first thing to take out of the school system is art.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I
man.
mean? There's no art. There's no art
Art
programs,
programs.
nothing. When I was like 16 years old, I wanted to have like a theater school in South Central, but I couldn't do it because nobody knows what it's about. You know?
Hey, dude, and I do, when you say you want to have a theater school, I do want to bring light to a project that I feel like you guys, Shia, you put on your back. And a lot of people don't want to take those kind of, hard work. A lot of people don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with hard work that don't just get you the accolades and a big ass car. And but when we say paying it back, what is Sacred Spectacle?
All right, so it's a fundraiser basically for the Slauson Rec Center.
Yeah.
So we met these people on the movie who became really friendly with us. Bone Sloan and Bojangles. who pretty much-
Hey,
they run the neighborhood down
hello.
there. And they took us down there, and they were like, "Hey, look, this is a really marginalized area. We don't have shit going down, and we need opportunities. And there's a way that you can make opportunities happen here."
Why become involved in it when there's so many things that you could lend your name to and your blood, sweat, and tears to?
Well, when we were filming, we got pretty deep into this whole
I
world.
got you.
And my heart, I fell in love with this whole thing. Not just like what we were making, but all the people that were around. So we had, maybe like 12 people got really close, like built a little family. And when Bone came to me and said, there's an opportunity here, he was already. I was driving him to work every day because he's playing my boss. So
Damn. So
we
you
were-
was character acting?
No, I mean,
Right.
You're like,
I'm,
actually, that
I'm
is what I was
outside,
doing.
sir. Go ahead.
seriously. We were living in the same house. I was picking him up breakfast. It was really like that. So We would get in the car. I'd stay quiet. He'd start talking about his dreams and stuff. One of these dreams came up was like this theater school. I'd just been talking to Bone and Bo about what they needed down there. And I was like, hey, did you hear about this? You know, we should go chop it up with them. We did. And then they took us down to the Slauson Rec Center, said, hey, you can come in here for free if you can be down here every Saturday and run this class. So I told Bobby. Bobby told his acting teacher, Shelly. And then we all rolled down there, met Nicole, who runs the rec center. And we started having this sort of strange experiment of like this devised theater program that I had read in some book because I never went to theater school neither. So we took this moment workbook, went down to the Slauson Rec Center. I put a video up on my Twitter. 250 people showed up. We just started running class every Saturday. That was 10 months ago. So then we built a play, and now we gotta make that play pop. So I started emailing all my friends to come and perform for us to sort of open up. And YG hit me back, Jaden Smith hit me back, Vic Mensa hit me back, and then as soon as they hit me back, all these other great artists started hitting me back. David Blaine, now Bustamante, who's like in the MoMA. Baby
and so there's
King,
an actual event
off.
that's going on. That's a sacred spectacle. That's the
June 29th.
benefit that's going on for Slauson Rec Center.
June 29th at the Hudson Loft from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's just basically blast off mode. You can get tickets at sacredspectacle.eventbrite.com. I'm hosting, Shlomo's DJing. It's going to be an incredible event for an incredible cause, which is this Slauson Rec Theater Company.
What are the emotions like when these friends do come back and say, yeah, I do want to help out as well?
Tremendous, because like you said, like not many people want to show up unless they're getting a Tesla out of it. And, and none of these people are getting paid. They're really just showing up for the vision and know what we're trying to do down there. And it's overwhelming, actually. Yeah. Bring tears to your eyes kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
You get emails back and you're just, it's overwhelming.
Was there anybody that you reached out to that kind of just ignored you, that disappointed you?
No, I'm not disappointed. Just schedules that couldn't work out.
Yeah.
You know, all the BH kids were going to be there. Kid Cudi was going to be there. People got tours. You know?
Yeah.
And plus when you do something so beautiful, man, and a lot of people recognize it, then you get a lot of greater laters too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be at this one, and we got to hold them to it too.
Yeah.
And that's and I love just sitting down with you also, Shia and Bobby, because we could have sat down about anything else. You know what I'm saying? But this is when you hit me via text. You don't hit me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that this meant something to you.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy because the way that this technology is and the way that we're in these gotcha moments, we rather put shine on something that's TMZ-ish as opposed to something as beautiful as this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wish that we can get this around the world like how a certain any other clip go out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you guys, that's great work that you doing over there, man. And then also Bobby just coming out and saying, man, I didn't have a lot of these opportunities right outside my door. So you know that there's people that don't have the same opportunities. And for you to create it, we all know we get to a certain age where we know the person that helped us or that, you know, gave us a little push. And if that person wasn't there, that facility, whatever it is, our life probably would have made a different turn or a different swerve. So I got to say big ups to you as well, man, for even just because sometimes our visions just live up here. And you know what I'm saying? And the execution, you know, it doesn't happen.
It's hard to come off thirsty and write these thirsty emails and these thirsty texts like, Big, help me. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel good.
But you know what it is too, though, man?
Great cause.
It's a great cause, and it's not that, it's humbling, but we should use our influence for that.
Roger.
Yeah.
And we should be able to call the people that we know and say, man, you got whatever the platform is. I need your platform. Well, how would I be talking about Big Boy's neighborhood and being from Los Angeles? And when you came to me and said, man, we trying to do something for our Slauson Rec Center, I was like, oh, man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're from the other
I got
side.
Lil Nas X coming in. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, man, well, bring him with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you said from the other side?
Yeah.
But what do you mean?
Well, you came up on the other side, not where the rec center is, but on the other side, didn't you?
Well, I grew up all over Los Angeles, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it was called, this is thing that when we were growing up, it was called eviction. Yeah. So I
All over.
Yeah,
All over.
some people say, "Oh, you from Culver City?" That was like the last place we was evicted from.
You're like, yeah, sure. I'm from
But yeah,
Culver.
I'm 88th and Budlong. I'm 90th in Vermont. We were everywhere, everywhere. So we were on a apartment tour. That's what we like to call it.
When you were doing your performance art and He Will Not Divide Us, I found that I really enjoyed that you once again stood up, spoke out, but used your art to spread this message. Why was that specific message important to you?
Because from the outset, you saw division on the rise. I mean, it was going to be, hey, a split in the middle. It was going to be, hey, he was setting up a thing where, I'm right, you're wrong for everybody on all sides. And I wasn't necessarily trying to attack the man, because it would have been entitled something else. We were trying to build a safe space where people could come and sort of have a debate in front of the world, so that they could be held accountable for their ideas. And so we set up that camera as a way of like shedding light on this sort of on the conversation more than a debate. We wanted to create like a conversation, but it got too violent and we had to shut it down. I mean, it was bomb threats and gun threats and gunshots.
Isn't it crazy how peace gets blamed for violence? You know what I'm saying? And then people don't see the actual vision in it. You know what I'm saying? But did you think when you were doing that early on that we would be in a position where it's even worse?
I mean, I knew early like day 2 or 3, Nazis started showing up. Yeah, so I knew it was going to be that way from day 2 or 3. You know,
does the performance art though feed your soul in a way that sometimes movies can't?
Definitely, yeah. It's just there's less control, and more can go wrong. So when it goes right, it feels different, you know, and less contrived, just more truthful. Between
all of them, which one did you find is your favorite? Maybe looking back.
Oh man, that's tough. That's I don't know. I mean, that all my movies thing was a real galvanizer for me. I was at a low spot, so when everybody came in and started watching all that stuff with me, it wasn't even about the movies. It was just like it was like instant friends. I've been lonely for a long time, you know. Especially if you work in this business, I'm sure you could attest. You get to a certain level where it's hard to make friends anymore. You know, there used to be a time, real friends. It used to be a time when I was young, and you could just go up to anybody and be like, "Hey, you want to be friends?" Yeah. You know, like when you were young and like 4 years old. I remember like running upstairs on all fours. Those times, you know, like the innocent times, and that goes away pretty quick. And I've been in this for a long time, so I really started doing that performance work as sort of a way to humanize myself and make friends. You know, it really started there.
You said that about when you did I'm Sorry, and you said that people started to come in. You thought maybe they were going to be hateful towards you, but they actually saw you more as a human. Yeah. What's the biggest misconception that you think there is out there about Shia LaBeouf?
I don't think there's much misconception. I think, you know, I'm human. I'm quite fallible. I think that is the narrative that's out there. And, you know, I'm just pushing forward and trying to, like, do things like this and stay true to, like, things that serve. And really, I'm just trying to, like, be of benefit, maximum benefit, maximum service.
That's dope.
Hey, Shia, do you feel like sometimes people don't understand you, or you stop looking for that? Like,
yeah, I think my mystery serves me. I think
right.
That's what you want in an actor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You want an actor who opens up, but you also want somebody that pulls you in, and what pulls you in is mystery. So I'm not trying to, like, unveil the mask or anything like that. I think not wearing a mask is actually more mysterious. Like, transparency is the new punk rock. I think sincerity and transparency is the new punk rock. You got little X coming. It's like, you know, people got masks and facades and caricatures that they try to put you in a box. Yeah, you know, like we were talking about. So when you're not in the box, people don't know how to deal with you.
Yeah, man. And they keep trying to snatch you back into it. Hey, man, how do you stay free of all the clutter with social media and everybody has an opinion? Because remember, back in the days, it used to be if it was a movie, it was Cisco and Ebert, it was probably a critic. Now everybody's a critic. Yes. And everybody got something to say, and it's right on your screen. Yes. How do you not pay attention to that?
I think you have to pay attention to it.
Really?
And yeah, I think you have to pay attention to all sides of it. You can't get your news source from one thing or just listen to one critic. I think, actually, like, I mean, it's a long conversation, but I don't think criticism is bad. I think what you're talking about is different. You're talking about, like, vitriol on the internet.
Yeah,
straight hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like with this theater group, you know, I show up and, like, social media dissipates when you see, like, 250 people in the room really reaching for something.
Right,
really
right.
Reaching
like,
for
where are
something
they
epic.
now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like we actually get off the internet, get together and connect.
I heard that, and bond.
Yeah,
see
connection.
each other. What's in the room?
That's what the internet was built on. You know, what drew us all to that social media was this longing for connection. And so I'm really, with the performance art and this theater space, is we've been trying to, like, bring that connection off the internet and actualize it in front of you. And I have a lot of that in my life, a lot of connection, which keeps me grounded and keeps me feeling loved.
How do you not go underwater with Hollywood?
Because I'm not really in Hollywood. I sort of navigate around it. I you know, since Transformers, I've been finding interesting ways to sort of stay afloat and work with filmmakers that I really like. If you were to bring David Ayers in here, he's very human, you know? And he brings guys like Bobby in, you know, who make me even more human when you're on a set. So it's not like I'm working in Hollywood. I work in and amongst Hollywood.
You don't chase it anymore like oh, I need the Transformers, I need that.
No, I ran from it. Because it was not serving me. It was destroying me. That's when I was getting really drunk and fucked up. That was all during that time when I just felt like I was becoming soulless. I couldn't navigate myself anymore. I just felt like I was dissipating. And so
Where does that come from? Is that demand? Is that
it's the guys you look up to. I always looked up to the quiet sufferers, so I chased that, But I also looked up to like people who are transparent, people who are honest, the real ones. That's why we always got along, and why I always listened to you. And not to like toot your horn, but really it's a big reason people mess with you is because you are sincere and you are transparent and you are ironic and funny. But if you were to spread that out, like I've been listening to you my whole life, school bus.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
Me too.
Yeah. Probably all of us in this room. But yeah, I'm like that with actors too. Like my favorite actors are the ones who actually really open up, not the ones who do tricky voices and tricky this, tricky that.
Right.
But like the ones who open up and show you the truth.
Genuine.
Truth is infectious. It's it's addictive. Sincerity, truth is addictive, and that's why you have the following you have. That's why I've been chasing what I've been chasing. Is I'm trying to get back to like authenticity.
and is that what you guys are trying to create more so in the films that you make as well?
I mean, we could go into Tax Collector. There's a very specific reason Bobby showed up. Yeah, his life has been wild, and that movie is really wild. And
Bobby, your actual life has been wild.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
like,
Bobby's
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna keep it low, but yeah.
Bobby's like, yeah. He's like,
Remember Mysterio?
he's like, big. You know you're not supposed to talk about
mystery
that.
part.
He probably like, everybody don't love
You want
me.
me to
homie.
self-snitch, man? What you want me to do?
What you want me to do?
What is
You
this?
want me to Tekashi 6ix9ine myself?
I said
What
I'm
is
from
this,
South
intervention?
Central.
Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
What is the movie about?
Yeah.
it's about. I mean, it's about family. Yeah.
In which way? You guys are
Hey
being
man,
so
they
serious.
are really. It's like
looking at
cold
you.
mode going down. Like y'all don't
say
know
it.
how much you should say, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we were sort of told coming up here, like, keep a lid on it. I can say that the movie's coming out later this year. It's full. I mean, it's full.
Hey Shia, is that you with all the tats on you?
Yeah.
And are those made or you got a lot of tats?
No, that's what I mean. I joined this world. I became part of this world. I really lost myself to it. It was a big reason why we were down at the Slauson Rec Center. I grew up in Echo Park back before it was like trendy.
Yeah. Hello.
Glendale and Temple by them tennis courts. And it's changed, but our movie's about like a certain part of the city that hasn't changed. It still operates in a certain way. And we got as close as we could to it. And we had people to navigate us through. And so while we were down there, like Bone is, and Bojangles, they really run that neighborhood. That's all Pueblo's Bloods down there. And those are the people who sort of keep us in the rec center, keep us safe, And so we kind of owe it to them to run it in a certain way and chase a certain thing. And really, like, these people don't fuck with theater at all,
Right.
So we try to build a theater for people who don't fuck with theater. And that's what we're doing down there. We're trying to, if you were to go to a theater show right now, you just have a bunch of old white people in there.
Right.
And so we're trying to make it like something that the kids show up for, that they show up for like a Ye concert or an iPhone sale, or new Jordans. So that's a tricky thing to navigate, but we got a lot of help and we feel like there's space for us. Nobody's really tried to do this yet.
Where it's also opening up the world to these kids that don't know much outside their 1 mile block
When
radius.
you got James Cameron walking into the rec center to come talk to kids who don't have money to go to film school, that's like a big deal.
Where it's even growing up there, like you would never imagine this because where you grow up, you don't see this. Like it's not typical for them to grow up like that or to see that or to even imagine, I can make it to the screen one day. Like what are those steps?
Or even have the time to be able to have any existential anything in their life.
Right.
It's not like these people sit around and go, how do I feel about that?
Right.
That's a wealthy person thing.
Yeah. And it's crazy because sometimes we don't know how to get out. You know what I'm saying? So when you bring something into the neighborhood and I can walk to it, I can get to it. Because I remember even just growing up, I go back by, some of the places that we grew up and I say, damn, it looks so small now. You know what I'm saying? But as a kid or as you're growing up, everything looks so large and like you couldn't get to it. You couldn't put a hand on it. My dreams were huge. And the one thing with me is my mom believed in me. I must have sounded ridiculous to my mom when I told my mom, I'm going to be famous one day and I want to be an actor. We were literally, Shia and Bobby, we were living in a motel.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be an actor and I'm going to buy you a house. And my mom went out and got me acting books. As a 9, 10-year-old, that had to, she could have said, baby, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And it would have crushed me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even the great work that you guys are doing, if you don't hear it in your household, then you're hearing it from people that care about you and say, come here, we got you. And that's what we're missing, man. We're so immersed in this that we don't get a chance to feel and touch and open up. So I needed that. Like, I had a boys club that I would walk 3 miles to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is an opportunity for people in the neighborhood to just come, and I know you guys are getting people from outside the neighborhood
which
as well
has been
that
tricky
come in.
too, because you gotta keep space. You want
Right,
to like
right,
a whole
right,
bunch
right.
of white people from Pasadena who are failed actors.
Talking about
who
them at the Shia LaBeouf school. Like, they
wind
don't
up
even
with
know
a
what
lot
it's
of
called.
that. You wind up with a lot of that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Shia, how you doing?
And these are like, and the rec center. You know, people who are in the rec center are looking around like, this is the most white people we've ever seen around here. So that's
Like, what
a
are y'all
tricky
doing?
You know what you
political
do?
thing to
man, you're
navigate.
right.
Hold the sessions at night, see who comes.
Turn the lights
Like,
off.
you want undercover
You
cop?
read their asses out, you know what I'm saying? And charge them $300 a ticket when they come down.
When was the last time Kanye raided your closet?
Oh man, he stopped doing that the last time. He's
The
on
one
his own
time-
thing. Yeah, he did do that.
He took all your clothes?
Yeah, he did.
Did he ever give it back?
Nah, he was
Your
doing
hat,
like
nothing?
pop-up shows at the time, and I think he was, you know, he does what he does. You know, man's busy. He's a good man. He's been good to me, and I got nothing but love for him actually.
And he did he come to the house and get the clothes?
Yeah.
Damn, I heard that.
Yeah.
Like, how much do you think he grabbed?
Probably like 70% of what I own.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot of clothes to take.
Hell of a lot of
Hey, dude, were you,
not
like
get back.
months later, were you looking like, man, where that bass? Fuck,
Yeah.
Kanye got it.
You see him wearing your hat?
Hey,
like,
dude, yeah, didn't he?
oh yeah, he was rocking
People on the
your
internet.
favorite hat, right?
Well,
were
I gave
like-
him that. I gave
you
him
gave
that.
it to him.
I
So
gave
he
him
knew
that.
which one to come out.
I really, in truth, I gave all of it to him. He showed up at my house. I'm a fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had there was no discretion. He was like, he could say anything, and I would have said yes. I'm such a fan. So yeah, when he went in my closet, he was basically telling me, look, I'm doing these pop-up shows, and I need your clothes. I was like, yeah, bet, go ahead.
Where do you
Take it.
shop?
Now, was he
Shia?
going to? Well, hold on for a second. Was he going to sell the clothes, or he was giving them away,
I
or
think
what?
he was setting up different mannequins in different cities. He was selling his
Oh,
own
gotcha.
stuff, but he was like setting up these mannequins in the front of these pop-up stores. And so he was after a certain aesthetic. I don't think I was the only person he did this to. And he was like bringing, like, again, back to this chase for authenticity and sincerity. So he came into my closet, took my actual, brought it into his pop-up shop, and sort of mixed it in with his collection and was chasing that sort of authenticity. Also, this is before like back when he was like floating around on that stage.
Yeah.
So I was trying. The reason I came into his life is he was talking about making videos, and we had just done like a lot of these performance art projects, and we were going to do a live stream with him. So that's what brought him to the house was we were building a live stream for the Super Bowl, which wound up going away because a lot of wild stuff happened in his life. But while he was there, he also told me about this pop-up shop and then raided my closet.
He never brought it back.
Nah.
I know where he live. You want to go over there? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We should just go in the closet and see if something in there, man. And do you go to Sunday service?
Yeah, I went over there.
Okay, yeah, I love what he's doing over
beautiful.
there. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
what he's doing,
really.
man. And that's another thing where I try to make it like every Sunday. My son is playing basketball. My daughter just finished volleyball. So the last few Sundays it had been a little challenging. But it's crazy how beautiful, and this isn't for everybody, how beautiful I feel that is. And I actually see people start to melt when they go to Sunday service because it's kind of like,
It starts there.
yeah,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then, you know, and that's the few that just come, I'm going to check on it.
Yep.
And then, you know, you start to see this.
Yeah.
You know,
It's emotional.
And then you it's a beautiful feeling, bro.
Yeah.
Has he wore any of your clothes to Sunday service?
Nah, no way.
Okay. just let me know, because I'm going to start looking at it too. You know what I'm saying? Even when you walk by me, you're like, yeah, is that Shia?
Nah, he's on his own thing. I mean, he sort of, you know, I think he's after a certain vision. He's making his own thing. It was never like a theft.
Right, yeah.
We took it as a theft.
Yeah,
No.
because that's going to be the clickbait, you know.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf discussed the Kanye robbery.
It was never that.
You
Nah.
said that you were a fan of
I bet you ain't
Kanye.
letting no more people in your closet, though, huh?
Favorite Kanye album?
The first one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the first one. And maybe
Why so?
808s. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's
'cause the
interesting
first
because
one-
a lot of people don't like 808s and Heartbreak.
That's my
I think those
favorite
two
one.
really changed the game. If you
Yes.
listen to rap before and after those two albums.
And you
rap
know what it is
changed.
too? They felt like opposites.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another thing with the box.
Super opposites.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to go see him perform 808s and Heartbreak at the Hollywood Bowl?
I've been to pretty much every single one of his tours that has come out here since the beginning.
Are you going as a fan or are you going as a spectator to
always
see if
a-
you're wearing your clothes?
No. Always as a fan.
Shia, this is a trust tree. You know, this is a trust
Always
tree.
as a
Safe
fan.
here.
Bobby, when y'all roll out of here, just ask him on the way home. I'm gonna give you my number. You hit me up like, yeah, big, you penetrated that. Yeah, it really hurt him to the core. It really hurt him to the core. Lord. Now, and I heard in a tax collector that you break in someone's house and you whoop somebody up, and the person looked like Kanye. Is that true?
And you take all their clothes.
Okay. Well, I'm reaching. I just pulled a muscle. Bobby, how do you pronounce your last name?
Soto.
Eso.
Yeah, it's actually Japanese.
Soto.
Really?
I'm not Japanese though, but a lot of Japanese people got that.
I never knew it was
Yeah.
Japanese. I thought it was Mexican.
Yeah, when I was
But I guess
when
it
I was in
was-
elementary school, actually, the teacher was saying our name, a Mexican teacher, Mexican American. He's like Bobby Soto, and I said Bobby Soto.
Right, and he told you.
He said
Soto.
Soto. I have respect for your name.
Oh,
I heard
like,
that,
all
Bobby
right.
Soto.
Yeah.
Go ahead now. Yeah, he was early on that
Yeah.
bird, man. Have some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you grew up out this way.
Yes, I did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tight family.
Yeah,
That's
real close.
dope.
Yeah.
Proud of what you're doing right now.
Oh, 100%.
I heard that, man. And you said before acting, you worked where you had.
I used to have a water store.
But before the water store, you never wored any.
Yeah, I did. I did it for a couple of years, just for like 3 or 4 years. And before that, I studied a lot in an acting class with a lady, and that was it.
I heard that, bro. So what is acting like? Was it early on a getaway for you?
It was a way for my mom to drop me off so she can go work.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
low key babysitter too.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. And
You a
then
Dodger fan?
100%.
I
Yeah.
heard that. Do you go to the Dodger games?
Yup, I do.
Yeah, she works at Dodger Stadium as well, man. Yeah, she go over there, give it all to her, and then she come back talking about she got carpal tunnel for here, but she waiting. Big ass flags over there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Over here she can't type shit here. When she go to them Dodger games, she with that big ass flag.
That's why she got it like
I'm like,
that.
dude, I tell her you gonna fuck your case off. your iHeart lawsuits. You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
Hey man, how do y'all stay just above the gotcha line? You know how now Hollywood, everything, or not even Hollywood, but just life, it's gotcha. Everybody's recording. You know what I'm saying? How do you keep yourself out of the so-called either scandal or getting yourself caught up?
I'm not good at that at all. I mean,
Yeah, you know what? I probably wasn't really
I'm
asking you that.
yeah, good.
Yeah, that probably was. Yeah, that was probably more of a Bobby question.
it's a Bobby
Sorry about that, Shia. Yeah, Shia. Do you ever look back at some of the things, and be like, is there anything that you look back and like, damn, I was wilding right there, or do you
Of
feel
course.
really?
Yeah, and they shape you. You know what I mean? Like
You learn tuition into the school of experience.
Exactly.
Are you
Yeah.
a happy guy, Shia?
Yeah, lately.
Really though?
Yeah.
So when you say lately, that means at one point.
I was running. Yeah, I was running away, both in my acting and both in, my living. Yeah.
How do you shut that down to where you get on a different path where you can say, I'm happy or I'm happier now?
Well, I mean, sober helps. Getting sober helps, you know. I didn't know how to pace
And how long
those
have you
things.
been sober?
I haven't had a drink in 17 months. I haven't
heard
smoked
that.
weed in 34 days.
Damn, congratulations
Yeah.
to you,
Been
bro.
6 months,
Hey,
no
man,
alcohol.
yeah, she's 6 months with no alcohol.
Hey.
And so 34 days without, because there's some people say, man, you know what? I don't drink.
Yeah.
But I do need to puff. What made you even stop?
Well, so
Puffing.
yeah, my dad was like that. You know, my dad was like, hey, this will help you actually get off that other stuff. And when I came out of rehab, I was really like edgy, you know, itchy, and had no way of.
And what did you go to rehab for, if you don't mind my asking?
I got arrested in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, for getting in a fight with a cop.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then I was asking him questions like, what he was a black police officer. I was like, that's like being a Jewish Gestapo. You know, you're going to hell for that. That wound up going all over TMZ and really put me in a situation.
Really, though?
and they were throwing dirt on me.
Damn.
So then I went to rehab, wrote the script about my dad, and then came out and it started back up.
And
again.
have you been? What started back up?
my work?
Okay, so with the sobriety, it's been 17 months that you came out
Yeah.
of rehab.
Yeah.
Congrats. Is that hard? Is it? People say day to day is sometimes a minute to minute.
No, it's actually been much easier than what I was going through before. Yeah, I was
Is-
burning the candle at both ends.
Is it also because you had paid so much into the school of experience, or you know what the so-called lows are? Did you use those?
I had no connection to God. I was spiritually sick, and I had no higher power. I thought I was really running the show.
Damn.
How did
Yeah.
you find that connection with the higher power? Because it sounds like you did.
I mean, I got a good group around me. These people that I mess with on a day-to-day. These theater group helps, Having friends like Bobby has helped. Just having real ones around you, who also have their own spiritual experience and can share it with you. The choices I've made in terms of work since then have helped. The people I choose to work with, surround myself with, have
Circle.
helped. Gotten closer with my family, my mother and all that.
Hey, Shia, isn't it crazy how people think they want what you have? But I tell people, I say, man, if you want what I have, you got to have it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People,
Yeah.
he got the money. Like, no, you got to have it all. And with me, you got to have me. You got to have your mother being deceased, your brother dying. Like, you got to have everything before you can just take. It's not a buffet, it's an entree. You got to have everything. Do you feel like sometimes people think that it's just easy? Oh, he's a celebrity. Oh, he got thicker skin. That's why we can mess with him the way that we do.
I mean, comparatively speaking, with some of the people that I'm around on day to day, my life was easy. Extraordinarily
right, when
easy.
you see it.
I'm blessed beyond all imagination. I have no complaints about what was going on. I just was confused and lost.
What do you see now when you do go to Slauson Rec Center? Like, even just driving there.
Yeah. I see the most marginalized community in Los Angeles. Yeah. And you see it. It's on the face of the people who walk around the park, They come in, it's like, they'll come into class and it's not even about class. They can't. It takes a long time for them to get into the swing of things in terms of class. Yeah. So you'll wind up with, at first it'll look like some strength. We'll do warm-ups and stuff, and people from, there's some people who come into class that can't really get with the program for a while because they, like I said, they've never had any time to be existential anything. So like the goal of this was to create a playground, like an extension of the playground. It's different for you to work within like a physical meritocracy like football or soccer, but when I'm asking you to come in and like express yourself,
right,
and you don't know the people in the room, that can be very uncomfortable for somebody who's never been asked that question. Right. And so what I see in there is a lot of people who've never had any kind of like deep thinking about themselves because they haven't had an opportunity. It's really like day to day. How am I going to survive this day?
Right.
Do
how am I going
to
feed
see
my
it
family?
As you go every weekend? Do you see the changes that you're making?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see people open up. It's
Right.
really wild.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to like, how do you keep yourself out of the mud? You wind up seeing the things you do affect other people, and that gives you pride in yourself, My self-esteem was garbage. That's why I was drinking so heavy. I had no esteem because I wasn't doing any esteemable acts. I was just serving myself, just making money,
Right.
Didn't even care about the craft. And so, coming out, my life has taken a different direction. Not like I've had a come to Jesus moment, but
Right. But a work in progress too, though, huh?
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful.
especially, you feel like you're working in the right direction.
correct.
You know
The
what I'm
purpose.
saying?
Yeah,
And
purpose.
yeah, and there is a purpose, man. And the purpose is you also including so many others.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're so used to mine, I, as opposed to, I, forget the I's. It could be I and me, but what about us and we?
Yes.
And that's what I think that you guys are sharing over there.
Yeah, and that's like not to like to ish on people who do, but my version of God, like when I pray, I do close my eyes and see the faces in this Slauson Rec Center. I see many faces. I don't see one face or one thing or one light, or I see a bunch of faces. I see a packed room.
Hey, Bobby and Shia, does it, and not that it makes you angry or trips you out, but how many people, for how beautiful it is, how many people don't come aboard, or how many people don't so-called lend a helping hand, or not, like if you could just see this, like how can someone else not feel this? Does that ever trip you out? Like how Hollywood or just whatever it is, like, the party tonight, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But at Slauson Rec Theater, we won't be there.
It's intense. Some people can't handle the intensity of the room. You know what I mean? I get that too. Some people are locked in prisons of their own making, and they can't. It's so deep in it, they don't even realize they're in it. It's not like I've reached out to a bunch of people who've said no.
Right.
I've reached out to a bunch of people and received yeses.
Right. And you probably reached out for the right people too.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you don't want to turn it into a dookie show either.
And there's some people who said yes that weren't right for the cause. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't have Triple Red in there.
Right.
Performing for the because his music swings a certain way, but. Even though YG talks about a certain thing, YG also the
He's
makeup
there.
of him, and the makeup of him and what he's after and what he's chasing with his life, our paths have aligned.
And when you speak of YG, man, we got to also speak on the Sacred Spectacle that's going down 7 p.m. June 29th. And that's really a benefit to raise money to make sure that this beautiful organization and these beautiful classes can continue at Slauson Rec Theater Company. And of course, Shia LaBeouf. What if he wasn't there?
Right.
Like, we all
Y'all
show
go,
up
I'm not
and
either.
Shia's not there. Like, oh no, I wasn't gonna be there. Big. I was just promoting it. But of course, Shia LaBeouf. You say YG, Jaden Smith, Vic Mensa,
Baby Keem, who's
Kamaya.
about to explode. Kamaya. How to Dress Well. There's other acts too as well.
and David Blaine. Is he gonna
Blaine.
levitate? And is he gonna really be there? Or is it gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, because
I'll be Devontae.
David
Illusion.
Blaine. It'd be like, an illusion. He's just floating around like, man, that's not even really David
Nah,
Blaine.
he'll be there.
Oh, okay, that dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is amazing.
Iconic.
How long have you known David Blaine?
Maybe like 4 years.
I heard that. What's your relationship?
I met him with Ye, actually.
Damn, you would.
Yeah, likes all the
You know what I'm saying?
magicians.
Like you would. But Shia, what do you feel about hip hop right now? Because I know at one point you was sending me records, you was freestyling.
Yeah.
What's going down with hip hop?
You know about Kate Tempest?
No.
She just put out an album called Book of Traps and Lessons. I think that's like, it's probably the strongest hip hop album that's out right now. But yeah, I guess it's more spoken word. Hip hop's kind of in a wild spot.
Do you still listen? Or are you so much into craft and
I'm
trying
a
to
fan.
build?
Yeah, no, I'm a fan.
I heard that. What does hip hop meant to you? What was your introduction to hip hop?
You.
Oh, really though?
Yeah, school bus.
Damn.
Yeah, listening
cool.
to Mary J. Blige, listening to you talk yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what
Phone
about
taps.
you? Hello. I tell Luther you said hello. What about you, Bobby? Like are you a fan of hip hop?
Definitely.
Really though? What brought you to hip hop?
Growing up,
Really?
my
yeah,
parents,
just right up.
yeah.
Oh. So your parents,
I
they
grew up all around it in my house, you know. So
You have any
wake up like
favorite?
at 6 in the morning, and my dad's bumping some Keith Sweat, or he's bumping
Hey.
like Tupac or something, you know.
really though. Do you have a favorite now? Or are you a little more old school, nostalgic like what
J.
you
Cole.
Really
Hey.
though?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Have you met J. Cole?
Nah,
Oh,
no.
such an asshole.
No, he's not.
Damn.
Ah, man. No, I just want him to meet him and be like, oh, he was cool with me. You know what I'm saying?
Bobby, Shia, working together now with each other, spending time with each other, what have you each learned from the other?
She asked a great question.
Yeah.
What have y'all learned from each other?
That's a good question, Big.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
I feel like I'm still learning.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I never met a man as strong in my life, actually. He's the strongest person I ever met in my life.
Damn, that's crazy because you've met a lot of people
Yeah, yeah.
that probably thought they had that title. My
Yeah.
being one.
Like, you're gonna go ahead and give it to.
Yeah. Why Bobby though? Why is
I mean,
Why does he get
can't,
that?
I can't fully get into it.
Right,
but,
right, I hear you.
But
is there an instant feeling in the connection though? You
Yeah.
know, how there's somebody
Yeah.
you feel like, man, it's not about the calendar,
Yeah.
like how long I've known this person. It's how I know this person,
Yeah.
like how I feel. There's a different feeling there.
well, I mean, I met him at a wild time in my life. You know what I mean? I met him. I was quite fractured. This dude built me up in a lot of ways. You know?
With you being fractured and meeting him at a crazy time in your life,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you weren't there though, Bobby. Like where it was like two peas in a pod, birds. You know, like so you were already. What made you get that connection with Shia? You know what I'm saying? When you saw something that wasn't either so-called whole or wasn't healed.
It's easy. Shia is a really open, loving person. So it's real easy for me to just connect with him.
We were also on a set, you know,
Yeah.
David pushes for these kind of relationships.
Right.
I had this with Bernthal, you know, when we were doing Fury. It's like David will push for that man love in a real way, no cheese, you know? And so we were basically around each other from prep to the end of shooting. And then when shooting ended, it was like, yo, we need to keep this going. And we already had this vision for this
But that
theater
can
we were gonna
go
do.
wrong too, to where you're like, man, I can't wait to get away from this person.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
force
I've had
it.
that too.
Acting sometimes is a forced relationship.
Yes.
You know, and I'm
Yes.
pretty sure when you do rap parties, you're like, man, I'm not gonna see this person again.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And you've done that. Where,
Definitely.
you know, so the reason why I asked the question is that it wasn't just work.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't the way that Dave put people together. It must have been, you know,
It's you guys.
something
Real
that,
connection.
yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways, he sort of shepherded me through this world. This really, you know, this was his world. I'm part of it, and dude kept me safe. You know what I mean? It's wild when you actually are confronted with like wild.
Yeah, I
wild.
saw you with a picture with Bosco being 100. That's my partner. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, did you see when Bosco was on his live?
Yes.
And
his house
somebody
got
started
shot up?
yeah. Hey, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was
What?
on his live. You know, Bob
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know, and then somebody start blasting. You see him jump out the screen.
Yeah.
You see this motherfucker come back, hop
Yep.
over a chair, and just start busting. And
Yep.
it wasn't like
No.
I'm busting for
Yeah.
you know
No.
for the views.
like
he
real
was like
life.
Protecting himself.
like, yeah, you just happened to catch that. And my man came back in. Hey, all right, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all come on out. Shia LaBeouf got an event going on. Man, I want to thank y'all for
Thank
coming into the
you.
neighborhood.
Thank you.
Shia, it's a pleasure to see you once again. Bobby Soto, we would definitely see you again, man. And whatever tax collector is, because y'all were very quiet on it, made me want to go see it even more.
I want to
so.
see it because
Yeah.
Chelsea got added to
Hey,
it too.
say
So
what now?
Chelsea Rendon got added.
Oh,
So I'm
she's
excited
there.
about that.
Yeah,
Hey
she's
man,
there.
I love her
it's crazy
personality.
how silence speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when does tax collector drop? Do y'all know?
Nah, I don't know.
It's like super under wraps.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
It's like, you know
not,
who's
not,
in it,
not to you,
who's
Shia.
making it, and that's it.
Bobby, I want you to look at me. Tax collector. Is it really a movie?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. All right, they were so, they were so like, I was like, man, they were probably gonna leave out of here like, dude, I guess we got to make the movie. We're sitting there really talking about it, like, what is it about? I don't know, but we got to go and get David on it too. We threw David Ayer in there, like, no, but continue the great work, man.
Thank you.
And for those out there that's listening, how do they get in touch with you once again? How do we become more active? Not just for sacred spectacle, but how do we become more active with the actual Slauson Rec?
SlausonRec.com, Twitter @SlausonRec, IG Slauson Rec.
All right. And what do you want to see after the 29th? I know we got a great benefit that's going on.
Yeah.
What do you want to see after?
I want to see people line up for the theater, like I said, like they line up for concerts. I want to make theater sacred, like it was in the 20s. You know, when it mattered. When there was a time where you ever go in a theater and like those sides, those side wings,
the balconies?
Those balconies. The reason those existed, the reason they were built, it was because at that time it was really uncouth for women who were widows to come outside. So they would go to the theater so that they could be a part of society and also be covered.
Wow.
And so that there was like a healing thing that went down. And so I guess the goal for both of us was always to make a playground and a theater group for people who don't mess with theater, but also could be some sort of like vehicle for healing for a group of people who really don't get the spotlight put on them in this way theatrically. And so I guess we're trying to aim for those wings of that theater in more of a current context.
I heard that. And how can we get tickets once again to Sacred Spectacle?
Yeah, you can sacredspectacle.eventbrite.com.
Man, I appreciate you guys.
man.
Thank y'all for coming into the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Bobby, I want you to come back without him because I think I can break through with this. this
You gotta
damn
get you
Shia
solo.
LaBeouf. Yeah. Shia, you're an open book though.
Shia,
You know
you
what I'm
gotta
saying? Hey, Shia, do you ever leave something be like, damn, I let them in too much?
No, because I feel like back to this healing thing. Yeah.
Are you in therapy?
Yeah, definitely.
I heard that.
I always, and that's why I also loved Ye so much. I always wanted somebody I could point at who was in a different position, who I felt like, ooh, me too.
Yeah. He understands. Yeah,
Yeah. And there's a lot of people in my spot. I mean, if you look like the opioid crisis that's going on in America right now, it's the biggest crisis in America.
Have you had somebody that's had a chance to speak with you personally, but they're afraid for either Hollywood or they're not there with their truth yet?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I have.
I heard that. And I'm not gonna ask who then.
He's like, I'm not gonna tell
That'd
you.
be breaking the wall. No, I wouldn't even ask. Y'all do stick around. Y'all radio's Big Boy
Big
Neighborhood.
Boy.